Elijah and the fire. When God answers with power, Israel was divided. Not by land, but by loyalty. King Ahab had turned the nation's heart from God to the worship of Baal, a false god of storms and fire. Altars to the Lord were torn down. Prophets were hunted. Fear ruled. And in the middle of the darkness stood one man, Elijah, a prophet with no army, no wealth, no political power, but a voice full of truth. He came before King Ahab and said, "You have abandoned the Lord's commands and followed Baal. Now gather all Israel, call the 450 prophets of Baal to meet me on Mount Carmel." The people came, the prophets came, the king came, and Elijah stood before the crowd and asked a question that pierced the silence. "How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. If Baal is God, follow him." But the people said nothing. Then Elijah proposed a test. "We will each build an altar. We will each offer a bull. But we will not light the fire. The God who answers by fire, he is God." The people agreed. Baal's prophets went first. From morning till noon they prayed. They danced, they shouted, "Baal, answer us!" But there was no voice, no fire, no God. Elijah mocked them. Maybe he's sleeping, maybe he's busy, maybe he's on a journey. So they shouted louder, they cut themselves. Their blood flowed, but still, nothing. Then Elijah stepped forward. He rebuilt the altar of the Lord using 12 stones, one for each tribe of Israel. He laid the wood, he placed the sacrifice. Then he did something no one expected. He drenched it all with water. 3 times, until the trench around the altar was full. There would be no tricks, only a miracle. Then Elijah prayed, "Lord, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant." And fire fell from heaven. Not a spark, not a flicker, but fire that consumed the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, the dust, and even the water in the trench. The people fell to their knees and cried out, "The Lord, He is God!" The Lord, He is God. This story teaches us, truth doesn't need numbers. It needs conviction. God's fire falls where obedience prepares the altar. The loudest religion isn't always the truest. One man with faith and courage can confront an entire nation's compromise. Elijah didn't win by being louder. He didn't need a show. He needed a clean altar and a surrendered heart. What about you? Are you wavering between two opinions, trying to serve God and your idols at the same time? This is your Mount Carmel moment. Tear down the altars to fear, to pride, to lust, to status. Rebuild what was broken, and let the fire of God fall again. If this story reignited your heart, like this message. Share it with someone who needs courage to stand alone. Subscribe for more stories that confront, convict, and call us back to the God who still answers by fire. Because when we stop wavering, God shows up.